There are many ways that you can just look up images. My favorite way to look them up is just using my Pinterest on my iPad, but I do know that some people use Google Images or Google, and there's also people that use screen caps or screenshot websites. I'm not really familiar with any of them, but I've heard that they're very good at finding pictures. So right now I have, as you can see in my Pinterest board, I have a lot of poses because I was looking up for pose inspiration for my drawings. But basically, you just have to find the images that you would like to have on your wall. Now, if it's like pixelated and it's not the quality you want, that's fine. You can just, I'm gonna show you guys a trick of how you can actually find the better quality version. So right now you can just, for the first step, just focus on figuring out what pictures you want to get. For me, I already have my own Pinterest boards with the type of art that I would like on my walls, or just art that I think it looks interesting. So in Pinterest case, you just like find the image that you want and just select the download image button, and that's how you save them. But you can also do this with Google Images or any of the image finding websites that you can get online. So you basically gotta figure out like what are the stuff that you like. If you like are into star maps and that type of thing, you can look for astronomy maps. If you like manga covers, you can also look up those. They're pretty easy to find. Or also, if you want to get some of those posters that you get, there's like some minimalist posters that you can find that have like the beige background. I have some over here where like this one, the Demon Slayer, it has like this beige background. These are like pretty trendy, or at least there are a lot of them on Pinterest that you can choose. And I think there's also like a template that you can find to make your own as well. So that's pretty useful. But there's a very wide variety of poster templates that you can get. You can also get magazine covers here for both fashion and manga magazines, like those type of like aesthetic Weekly Jump or whatever magazine you would like. You can get those here, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out any other place on the internet to get them. But basically, you have to find like the type of aesthetic that you want, and you can also add a specific one to your favorite anime or manga. So right now here I have the Attack on Titan ones, but you can get them from Haikyuu or any other show that you would like. You can also do research on fashion shoots if there's a specific fashion shoot from a magazine that you would like to get. Sometimes it's hard to find the actual original magazine, or it's an international magazine and it's difficult to buy or it's too expensive. You can just like figure out the shoot and like the artist and also the date, so it's more specific. You can actually find a lot of cool fashion shoots this way. You can also look up art. If there's a specific art period that you're really into, you can just look it up and check which images would you like to put on your wall, and this gives it a really nice touch to your room. When you have paintings in your wall, it makes it look really nice in my opinion. Also, if you can't find the full image, you can also use visual search so that you can find like the full painting on Pinterest. It shows you many examples and you can figure out which has the complete painting. So the way I look up good quality images is by using the Google Lens feature. So here on the screen I have the basic Google search bar, and what you have to do is upload your images. Sometimes you can look them up and drag them into the Google Lens system, but a lot of times there are issues with the URL, or at least I've been getting them recently. So my recommendation is to save all your images first and then look up the upload to photo library button that's right there. This also works with all devices like phones, tablets, computers. Even if you have a Windows computer or an Android tablet, it will work on all formats. So once you submit the picture that you want, we're gonna use this one as an example. It will show up in this screen, and there's this stuff on the side, but that's not what we're gonna use. Usually this was more for shopping purposes, but what we're actually gonna use is the Find Image Source button that's right up there. Make sure that your image is like completely covered, like by all the corners, so that it will bring up like a better result, because if you're just covering like a little corner, it's not gonna work out very well. So once you click on Find Image Source, it's gonna take you to the screen where you can see that there are several size options. So my recommendation is to always choose the largest option available. So in this case, it has a large option. Some images will only show medium options, so in that case you will choose medium. But for this one, I'm just gonna click on the large button. So this is gonna show you up all the images that are available on the internet of the same picture. So you just gotta choose, usually the top 3 above are the ones that have the highest pixel count. In this case, this one has a watermark, so we're gonna use the second best one, but you can look up the pixels right here in the corner. As you can see, this one has a pretty large pixel count, but because of the watermark, we're just gonna use the second one that is available. Once you find the image that you want to use, you just do right click or press if you're using a phone and select the Save to Photos option. This is an example of one of the cases in which the image just doesn't have a large option, which in that case, again, you just use the medium. Usually they still look pretty good when you're printing them at a normal size. So once you do this, you just have to repeat this process with all the different images that you want to get. That way you make sure that all of them are at their best quality possible. Personally, I use Staples as the place to print them. I'm pretty sure this can also work on other office/stationery printing websites. If you look at any older videos about printing your own wall art, you will see a lot of people use the FedEx website, but FedEx no longer allows non-business people to make orders of different types of art. So now it's more of a business-only printing. However, you can use Staples as a middleman to get access to the FedEx printing. So you can just do everything on Staples and they will get it printed for you on FedEx. What I'm going to do is go through the services panel and select the printing option. And here is going to pop up the printing options. Now there is this option for banners and posters, but it's more of a larger printing service. Personally, I like using more like 8.5 by 11, but if you like larger posters and just getting just a larger image, you can select this option. But for me, I'm just gonna use the simple printing option that is right there in the middle. Once you select Simple Print, we're gonna click on Start Project and then Upload through the photo library. Make sure you use the formats that are listed below, so like PNG or JPEG. That way the program will be able to download them. There are certain formats that are not compatible with it, so usually JPEG and PNG will work. Now it's gonna ask you if you wanna print them as multiple files. There is an option to upload separately if you want each piece of art to have a different paper setting, but if not, you can just select continue. Once you get the pictures uploaded, it will show this settings page for the paper. Now you're gonna go right through the bottom, right at the end, and go to the Need More Options rectangle. Then this will send you to transfer for professional print, and it will give you a wider variety of options and better quality paper. So you just click on transfer settings and it will show you this professional settings. So if it has these tabs up here, then you're in the right place and it will give you many more options for your printing. So for the first section, you're gonna select paper size. For me, I like to use the 8.5 by 11, but you can choose whether you want legal or ledger. You can also change the portrait orientation, but usually I just keep it in portrait. You can also check on the scale to fit. That will give you a more even image, so you can also use that. And depending on how you want it to look like, you can select print to edge. There's also a double-sided option, but since we're putting the image on the wall, there's not really a point on printing double-sided. So at least for me, I just select scale to fit and print to the edge. Then we have to do all those settings to all the other images. So we use the arrows and then select scale to fit and print to edge, and that way we can set them up. If you want to give them a border, you can also just use scale to fit if you want to give them the white border, because sometimes it just looks nicer that way. It all depends on your preference and how you want it to look. Once we're done with layout, it's going to show you the paper options. As you can see, there's a wide variety of paper options. You can also use standard color paper and change the color of the background. This usually works if you have a black and white image. You can switch the color of it. But other than that, usually I don't really use that. However, it is a good option if you want to have a more colorful look that will make the black and white image stand out. For regular white paper, there is the standard paper option. However, I am going to be using the premium and specialty paper, which will give you a higher quality, like a thicker paper, instead of just using the standard one. So there are many options on terms of how thick you want the paper to be and whether you want it glossy or matte. Usually I just go and use the gloss cover because it's like the perfect semi-glossy, not too glossy like a picture, but glossy enough that it doesn't look like regular paper. You can also get tear and water resistant paper or transparent paper, so you can have many different effects with the paper depending on the paper that you choose, of course. And there's also linen resume ivory, which I have never used, but it is an option there. So it all depends on what you want to get, and it will also give you descriptions so you can get an idea of what you will be getting. After that, it's going to ask you if you want black ink or color. I select color, and then it's going to ask you for binding options. Because this is for wall art, we're not going to select any, but if you want a different type of project and you just want them stapled, you can select these options. If you want to make your prints more long-lasting and higher quality, you can also select lamination. And there are many options that are basically fungi-proof or mold-proof. Basically prevents any reproduction of organisms, whatever that means, but it will make them very resistant and in some cases even waterproof depending on the lamination that you choose. There are also options for folding, cutting, and hole punching, which again, they're not really necessary for wall art, but it's definitely an option you can use if you need any other printing to be done. Once you click next, it's going to show you where to name your project, and you're also going to ask the number of copies you want of each. In this case, we just want one copy of each image, and I'm just going to type a wall art print. This is an example, so I'm not actually going to print them right now, but I will show you how to use the delivery settings. So these are the three options right now. I always use ground because it's the cheapest option. And you can see here a sample of the pre-tax price for 13 pages. At least this is the one that with my settings that I use. These have no lamination, but they do have premium quality paper. So this is pretty much the price that you can use as an example. And then after that, you just go and secure checkout and put your information of your address and payment method, and it will be shipped in usually about 10 to 15 days, you will be able to get it through FedEx. And that is my complete tutorial on how to print wall art through staples. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure to subscribe so you can be notified about new videos. Thanks for watching!